I can't stand the word empathy, actually. I think empathy is a made-up New Age term that does a lot of damage, but...
Yeah, we back. Now, today's video is going to be a follow-up video to the ones I dropped in regards to the tragic incident, in regards to what happened in Charlotte, North Carolina, the Ukrainian refugee who unfortunately lost her life, which led to mass hysteria on conservative right-wing media. You had several conservative media personalities, including Charlie Kirk, by the way, who took the story, ran with it, politicized it, sensationalized it, got their base emotionally riled up. And of course, if you watch my video, I believe that the reason why they did that was due to the racial identity of the perpetrator and the victim. Black man, white woman. And they were saying things like, if the roles were reversed and the victim was a black woman and the perpetrator was a white man, they said that it would be riots in the streets, it would be national news. And of course, I debunked that, and I came with a list of a series of stories that came out within the past couple years, where the crimes were even more barbaric, where a black woman fell victim under the murderous rage of a white man, and there was no riots in the streets. It didn't make national news. It was a bunch of local stories. So in that first video, I debunked it on that. So check it out. In the second video, I talked about the fake outrage that was happening surrounding the story, because the way the story was being framed was that they were making it seem like a black man is the most dangerous individual you can be around. And then I showed you a list of stories that occurred within the past week, past couple weeks, past couple months that showed you that statistically a white woman or a white child is way more likely to be attacked, assaulted, murdered by a white man way before a black man. In that video, I showed you that it's not black men terrorizing the white community. It's white men terrorizing their own communities, attacking their own women, killing their own women, assaulting their own children. So I showed you that statistically, a white woman is more likely to be attacked by a white man than anything else, right? So making it seem like the black boogeyman is on the streets, on the loose, attacking white women. Listen, that's all propaganda. That's all hysteria. That's all grifting by a bunch of, con artists and charlatans. So check those videos out after this one. But today we're going to talk about Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk, infamous right-wing media personality, very prominent in that sector of politics. Charlie Kirk, 31 years old, lost his life at the hands of gun violence today. I believe that he was actually at a speaking engagement. I believe that he's actually on a tour, going city to city, state to state. And I believe today he was actually in Utah at a university. And that's where he met his unfortunate demise. Now, let's jump into the article before I look at the reactions and get my commentary on the situation. Take a look up on the screen. Charlie Kirk, leading right-wing personality, dies at 31 after a Utah college shooting. Now, if you watched my video last week entitled The Rise in White Nationalism, we spoke about it, right? Charlie Kirk is not an old guy. He's not in his 60s or his 70s or his 80s, and he's been in the public eye for a while now, since his early to mid 20s. So when I told you that a lot of young white males are gravitating to certain ideologies and beliefs, that is what I mean. And I even saw Donald Trump himself, as well as Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense, or his new title, the Secretary of War. They also said similar things. They talked about how much the youth of America resonated with his message and his ideas. So when I tell you that the right wing, not only in the United States, but across the Western world, even in Europe, their prominence is rising, and it's something that we should be aware of. In my video, I spoke about the reasons why. Now, let's get back into the article. Charlie Kirk has died at the age of 31 after being shot during a campus event at Utah Valley University on Wednesday, September 10th. Charlie Kirk, a right-wing media personality who founded the conservative advocacy group Turning Point USA, was on the first stop of his American comeback tour in Orem, Utah, when shots were fired. Video posted from the event appeared to show Charlie Kirk being struck in the side of the head or the neck as he spoke to the crowd from under a pop-up tent. Now, I will say that the timing of the event is just so crazy, because in my video last night, I literally said that while you're wasting your time trying to make the black man the boogeyman and the black man the scapegoat and the black man the target and the black man a pariah, in reality, when you look at the stats, when you look at the facts, who is the main one committing all the crime in the white community? It's not the black man. Like I told you before, you're way more likely to be targeted, to be attacked, to be robbed, to be killed by your fellow white brother way before a black man attacks you. Way before a black man does anything to you, you're going to be attacked by your fellow white brother every single time. So for Charlie Kirk, who's been one of the main ones, like I said, ever since the tragedy happened to that Ukrainian lady down in Charlotte, North Carolina, he was one of the main ones gassing the story up, boosting the story up, sensationalizing the story, politicizing the story, right? The black boogeyman is coming to attack you, when in reality, you fell victim at the hands of your fellow white man. It was a white man that put a bullet in your head. It was not a black man. And that's usually how it goes, right? So when they were trying to make it seem like, oh man, you better hide your daughters, you better hide your sisters, the black man is on the loose, the black man is on the attack, when in reality, this is what really happens every single day. It's not the black man coming to attack you. It's your fellow white brother, the one sitting next to you. That's the one that's going to attack you first before anybody else. And we saw that happen today in live action. And it's so ironic because in his final moments on earth, do you know what Charlie Kirk was talking about? Do you think that he was talking about something productive with his people? Do you think that he was having some, high level conversation with his people? No, he was talking about gang violence. Now, keep in mind, he was all the way in Utah. It's barely any black people around. Why are you sitting around in a crowd full of your own people? Instead of talking about something productive and enriching and edifying, you're sitting around talking about black men and gang violence and things like that. You know, his last words on earth were gang violence. I can't show you the video of his assassination, but for those of y'all that saw that video, his last words was gang violence, and then he got shot in the neck. And that's really the irony of it all. Guys like Charlie Kirk and those who follow him and believe in him, they spend so much time hyper-focusing on what black men are doing, where black men are going, what black men are thinking about, what black men are about to do, what black men did last week, what the black man had for lunch. They spend so much time talking about black men, the black community, black people, black children, black kids in the inner city, black. And in the midst of all that nonsense, you got killed by your own people. And it's so ironic how I just did a video talking about this last night. I literally said, you're more likely to get killed by your own people. And then Charlie Kirk woke up the next day and got killed by his own people after spending the last few days of his life fear-mongering about black men. He spent the last few days of his life fear-mongering about black men. Oh my God, the black boogeyman. Oh my God, the Ukrainian lady. Oh my God, the violent black men. And guess what? While you were sitting around distracting yourself about the black man, you ended up getting killed by your own people. And that's the reality. And that's the exact reason why I did that video last night, because I had to show you. They're making a whole big story of this one isolated incident, but we can go through a list of stories that occurred within the past week, past 2 weeks, the past few months, where the crimes were even more egregious that happened by your own people. And that's why it's so easy to debunk their propaganda, because it doesn't really stand on any solid foundation. But anyways, let's take a look at some of the reactions on social media, right? This person said this. His last words were gang violence. He died doing what he loved to do, talking about black people. Ha! That's crazy, man. That's crazy for your last words to be talking about gang violence all the way in Utah. In Utah. How can you be all the way in Utah and you talking about gang violence, brother? That's like me going all the way to Senegal amongst my own people, and instead of having productive conversation, edifying conversation, positive conversation, I'm sitting around talking about school shootings all the way in the United States. And it's crazy because it's almost poetic in a sense, right? Oh, gang violence. Oh, man. And then you get killed by your own people. My God. Anyway, let's continue. This person said, Tariq Nasheed said this. Charlie Kirk goes around to campuses talking about how violent black people are. His social media timeline goes on and on about how violent black people are. And in the middle of his speech discussing black violence, Charlie Kirk gets shot by a white man. And that is really the irony of it all, right? And that really summarizes the whole situation in regards to the viral story about the lady from Ukraine that lost her life on the train, right? They spent the last few days fear-mongering to white women. Stay away from the black man. Stay away from the dangerous black man. When in reality, like I said, a white woman is going to be attacked by a white man before anybody else, right? So why are you sitting around distracted by the black man, distracting yourself with the black man? Your blind spot is your fellow white brother standing right next to you. That's going to be the first one to commit a violent crime against you. But you're not even paying attention to him because you're so hyper-focused on what the black man is doing. You got all your attention on the black man, right? You in love with the black man. You infatuated with the black man. You got the energy of a groupie. You sit around talking about the black man at the dinner table while you having a beer with your friends, talking about the black man. On the phone, talking about the black man. On YouTube, talking about the black man. On Twitter, talking about the black man. Y'all love the black man. You got a homoerotic fetish surrounding the black man, right? All this time focusing on the black man and then get killed by a white man. Let's continue. This person said, all that pontificating about black violence and how black people are prone to violence and not wanting to be around blacks and you die by the hand of a fellow white man surrounded by whites in one of the whitest states in America. Exactly. It's poetic. It's amazing. Let's continue. This person said, Charlie Kirk got hit in the neck with the reality of violent crime in America. 85% of all white murder victims are killed by a white perpetrator. Despite all the hype around interracial crimes, white people are 6 times more likely to be killed by another white person, right? And I think that because you guys did so much grifting and so much charlatan bullshit over the past few days, you had to get faced with this reality check. And what's that song by Tupac? They say it's the black man that I should fear, but it's my own kind doing all the killing here. That's a fact. They say it's the black man that you should fear, but it's your own kind doing all the killing here. But anyways, man, it's ironic because Charlie Kirk himself even said that because he was a big, believer in the Second Amendment, being able to own and brandish firearms. He said that because I believe he was having a debate where they said that, well, if we take away guns, then society will be more safer. And I believe that one time he said that the people who die by the hands of gun violence, in his mind, that's simply collateral damage, because he was a big believer in the Second Amendment so much that he said, listen, if we have victims of gun violence, that's collateral damage, right?
I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights.
So as you can see, Charlie Kirk justifying his own murder, saying that, listen, if you get chopped down like an animal, it is what it is, because we have a God-given right. We have our Second Amendment rights. We have the right to bear arms. So if we have innocent victims that get chopped down like animals in the street, it is what it is. That's what he said, right? So, it is what it is, right? But anyways, I want to get into some clips to show you what I mean when I say that these guys have a homoerotic fetish when it comes to the black man. They wake up in the morning thinking about the black man. They be on social media at like 8:30 in the morning before they brush their teeth talking about the black man. What the black man doing? Where the black man going? What the black man did last night? The black man, the black man, the black man. Run the clips. I'll be right back.
They're killing white people in the streets in South Africa. It's literally a mini white genocide. You see a black pilot, you wonder, boy, is that person there because they earned it or because they were placed there? What percentage of young blacks have both a mom and a dad raising them? Blacks in America, black women. Why do blacks have a broken family? Why is it that black America is one of the only populations, that and Native American populations, that have not been able to overcome such evil, horror, and injustices? Blacks commit more crimes than whites do. This shows they were actually better in the 1940s. It was bad, it was evil. They were actually better in the 1940s.
The country made a mistake when it passed the Civil Rights Act. Also true. Why does Kirk believe passing the Civil Rights Act was a mistake? Now, again, apparently they don't listen to the show because we do that at least once a week, right? Once a week we talk about why the Civil Rights Act was a mistake.
So as you can see, when Charlie Kirk was still walking the earth, he spent his time talking about if black men and women are qualified to fly airplanes. He was spreading the lie about so-called white people being attacked in South Africa. There is no white people being attacked in South Africa. There's no white people being chased out of South Africa. The only people being chased out of South Africa are pregnant immigrant African women. That's it. These guys are not attacking no white South Africans. I'm sorry to tell you, I got love for my South African brothers, but y'all don't got, listen, y'all know y'all ain't about that life for real. And I say that with love. I don't say that with no malice in my heart. Stop lying on the South African brothers. They are not attacking the white folks. They are not chasing out the white folks. Them boys ain't touching a hair on the head of the white folks. The only people they get buck against is some pregnant immigrant African women. Them boys ain't touching no white folks. So stop spreading the lie about, the white genocide in South Africa. Man, listen, white folks in South Africa living lovely. And also in that clip, you saw him talking about asking questions like what percentage of black children have a mother and father and things like that. Brother, why are you even worried about that? And that's what I mean when I talk about the hyper focusing on what black folks are doing. This hyper focus to where now your blind spot is the white man standing right next to you that's about to attack you and kill you. You didn't even notice him because you spent all your time focusing on the black man, the black woman, the black child. It's this hyper focus, this borderline obsession with what the black folks got going on to where you don't even pay attention to the criminal in your own community, the robber in your own community, the killer in your own community, which 9 times out of 10 is a white man. And then also in that clip, you saw he said, the black community was better in the 1940s, right? Back in the 1940s, when you could kill a black man in the street and beat the case without even going to trial, right? The 1940s, where you could sexually assault black women and not even get charged with a crime, right? the 1940s. Oh, the glory days, the 1940s. It was so good back in the 1940s, right? Charlie Kirk, 31 years old, right? It's talking that garbage. That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, all this hyper focus, the black man, the black child, the fatherless homes, the 1940s, the glory days. And also in that video, you saw he said, oh, the Civil Rights Act was a mistake, right? Giving the black community civil rights was a mistake, right? So the 1940s was amazing, where you could kill black men and sexually assault black women with abandon, right? And giving them civil rights was a mistake, right? Charlie Kirk. Listen, Charlie Kirk. Now, regardless of what I feel about him, I do have to admit that he did have a massive fan base. He did resonate with a lot of young white men across the world. That's why it's a big story. It wouldn't be a big story if he was a random Joe Schmo off the street. The reason why it's a big story is because his rhetoric did resonate with a large segment of young white youth, right? And like I said, I'm going to play a clip that kind of shows the reason why guys like Charlie Kirk and other right-wing conservative grifters have been making inroads with a lot of young white men, and the reason why young white men are gravitating towards the far right, the conservative side of the spectrum, etc., etc. Run a clip. I'll be right back.
All our birth rates are absolutely fucked. All our birth rates are absolutely fucked. All our birth rates are absolutely fucked. Nobody's having children. The prices are too high. Nobody wants to have children. They can't raise good kids. What the fuck is going to happen? That's never going to recover. So if you think that if your children, your grandchildren will be a minority in their own country is going to end up well, you're in for a very rude awakening. And if you're not going to do anything right now in your fucking lifetime, if you're not going to stand up, I don't know how you look at yourself in the mirror knowing this will happen to you.
All right, we back. Now, like I spoke about before, the rise in white nationalism, the reason why a lot of young white males are gravitating towards certain rhetoric, towards certain political ideologies is because a lot of these guys are not happy. Right? They're not happy with society. They're not happy with themselves. The white woman is not interested in having their babies and starting big families. And that's why they gravitate towards certain political ideologies, because it gives them a sense of comfort. It gives them a sense of belonging. It gives them a sense of family, and it gives them a scapegoat to blame. If you saw that clip, their issue is not really with the black man. The black man is an easy scapegoat, right? Their real issue is the fact that the white woman does not look at them with respect and reverence and admiration. Their real issue is the rising cost of living, the struggling economy, the fact that you're not able to live like your grandfathers, where a single income could support a whole family, where you could have a beautiful wife at home cooking dinner for you, right? Times have changed. And also you have to compete with other men on a more equal footing. Whereas back in the day, during the days of your grandfather, he had first access and first dibs to everything on the basis that he was a white man, but you don't have the same privilege. So other men are now competing with you for resources on a more equal footing. And sometimes they're actually surpassing you. And sometimes they're running off with the white woman. So these guys, man, they're not happy. So they cope with their unhappiness by listening to guys like Charlie Kirk, listening to guys like Nick Fuentes, and blaming the black man for all the problems of society. Oh, the black man fault. The black man did it. The black man did it. It's the black man, the black man, the black man, the black man, right? It's the black man, the Jewish man. Oh, I forgot. It's not only the black man. It's the Jewish man too. So the black man, the Jewish man, the Jewish man, the black man, the black man, the Jewish man, the black man, the black man, the Jewish man, the black man, right? That's all they talk about. The black man and the Jewish man. And you think the white woman is going to look at you and be attracted to you? Bro, you're a clown. You sit around talking about black men and Jewish men all day. Of course, white women aren't interested in you bozos. And speaking of white women, I'm going to play a clip of a white woman who was actually there at the event, who watched Charlie Kirk get killed in broad daylight. And I'm going to show you her speaking on the tragedy, right? Now, these guys, like I said, these guys claim to be, I'm the protector of the white woman. I'm going to keep the white woman safe from the dangerous black man. That's what they be saying, right? So let's take a look at the reaction of this white woman who was actually there. And let's see, is she going to be crying tears that Charlie Kirk is dead? Is she going to be heartbroken that Charlie Kirk is dead? Let's see how the white woman feels about seeing Charlie Kirk get killed in broad daylight. Run the clip. I'll be right back.
I heard a loud bang, which I figured a shot would be a little bit louder, but I just saw it hit him in the chest, and then all of a sudden just tons of blood gushing right out where his heart is, and then he like fell over and slumped down, and everybody got down and was screaming, and then we all ran. I personally believe he was dead on impact.
You know, the neck contains two large blood vessels on either side, the carotid artery, which takes blood up to the brain, and the internal jugular vein that brings blood back from from the head, and the head gets a tremendous amount of cardiac output because the brain is so key. So with a wound that size, you can lose a tremendous volume of blood very quickly. You can lose a liter or 2 liters a minute of blood. But the massive amount of blood coming forth suggests that his internal jugular and or his carotid were basically blown apart by the impact.
All right, we back now. I saw a video of the murder. Listen, he was dead before he hit the ground. That boy was dead on impact immediately. As soon as the bullet penetrated the arteries in his neck, that boy was gone immediately. There was no coming back from that. But listen, when it comes to me, I don't have anything good to say about Charlie Kirk. To me, just a standard conservative grifter who grifted all the way to the graveyard, grifted all the way to the cemetery. But one thing I will say, though, is that the cost of grifting just got a bit higher, right? I'm seeing a lot of conservative grifters now canceling their speaking engagements, canceling their events. They don't want to come outside no more, right? The cost of grifting just got a little bit more expensive. And back to what I said about Charlie Kirk being hyper-focused on black men, black women, and black children instead of being focused on the white man standing right next to him. I remember actually not too long ago, he said this, right? These people openly admit that Haiti is a lawless, crime-ridden, and violent nation. But they have the arrogance to think that once we import 500,000 of them and embed them in American communities, they'll all suddenly be upstanding citizens. Is this naive, malicious, or just plain stupid, right? So this man, while he was alive, attacking my people unprovoked, what did a Haitian ever do to Charlie Kirk a day in his life? Has a Haitian ever slapped, assaulted, robbed Charlie Kirk, done anything to Charlie Kirk? Has he even met a Haitian and shook his hand? Like I'm saying, like, you hyper focus on people that are not even relevant to your situation, bro. And you ended up getting killed by a white man. It wasn't a Haitian that killed you, I tell you that. It's probably like 17 Haitians in the state of Utah. But like I said, it's easy to go after easy targets like that because you know a Haitian wouldn't ever attack you. A Haitian coming to the United States, at best, the most they're gonna do is go get an education, probably go work in the medical field, and then buy a Benz and buy a home and send their kids to school. They're not gonna bother you. They're not gonna mess with you, right? Because you know they're an easy target. They're not gonna mess with you, so you feel comfortable talking crazy out in the public. So when it comes to me, I don't got no sympathy for this guy at all. I don't got no sympathy for this guy at all. You spent 31 years of your life, a wasted existence, sitting around talking about the black man all goddamn day, right? Talking about the black man, like a scorned baby mother. The black man, 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 just to get shot in the head by a white man. Now, anyway, take a look up on the screen. This brother said this: I'm being serious. For the last 2 days, so many white right-wing conservatives were justifying violence and murder against the entire black population for the action of one mentally ill individual. Now, these same white right-wing conservatives are saying that no one deserves to be shot for exercising their freedom of speech, which for this, Charlie Kirk also included hate speech. I saw so many right-wing conservatives on this platform talking about lynching black people and talking about how the entire black race deserves murder and that white lives are more valuable than black lives. But now all of a sudden, we need to show humanity for an individual who spent his entire career basically antagonizing the black community. Now, that's a fact. Ever since that tragedy happened in South Carolina with the Ukrainian lady, we saw individuals calling for violent retaliation, calling for murder and bloodshed and vengeance and violence for the past 2 days, right? And not retaliation against the victim himself, but calling for violence against the entire black community. Not even just the black community in the United States, but I saw them talking about black people all the way in Africa, right? Black folks all the way in Africa minding their business, they were directing hatred towards them as well, right? So these guys, man, like I said, I don't got no sympathy for none of y'all. No sympathy for none of y'all. Don't expect no love from me. Don't expect no sympathy from me. No understanding from me, right? I don't feel nothing. I watched that video. I didn't feel nothing. I didn't feel nothing. I didn't feel not a single emotion. I wasn't moved at all. I didn't feel a thing. Not a goddamn thing. So listen, it is what it is. Your boy took the grift all the way to the sky. He took the grift all the way to the cemetery. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. Rest in peace to the adversary. And let it be a cautionary tale to the rest of you grifters, right? The cost of grifting just got a little more expensive. They just raised the price on the cost of grifting. The cost of grifting is way too high right now. So word to the wise, you better stay inside. I saw that boy Myron Gaines talking about he about to cancel his event. Like I said, man, the cost of grifting, it just got a little more expensive. They just raised the price. Yesterday's price is not today's price, right? Now, anyways, man, like I said, it's your boy Neferkari the Salim back in the Billy S&D. The Spy and Bomber Code, second single off the next project. Pin comment at the top. Check it out. Link in the description. Subscribe to the Patreon. NTD1814. And I'm gone. Peace.
Feel like it's me, I feel like I'm Saudi or ran up on Yan in the middle of Bamako. Enemy line, they claiming they innocent. Don't do no talking, I gotta move militant. Don't do no talking, I hit them with facts. 1804, bringing it back. 1804 like I'm Mother Cap Henry. King with the vision, the crown never empty. Top of the mountain, my soldiers defend me. Ducking and dodging the foreign intelligence. Hitting my dance on the DGSE. Dodging they traps, still on my feet. Feeling impeccable, feel like I'm shining. Go to my neck and I'm flooded with diamonds. Go to my neck and I feel like a mess. Feel like a lion, I'm in the savannah. Feel like the king when I'm up in the jungle. Never defeated, I never been humble. Come out victorious every encounter. Money machine give me help when I count it. Money machine stack it up in a beat. Heart of a king and I ride for the team. Weight of the world got it stuck on my shoulders. Bet you can feel it, my heart getting colder. Yeah, gotta stay focused so when it's in shots I gotta react. Cause I'm a target, I'm under attack. Grabbing a weapon, I tell her get back. Mission exposed, secrets unfold. Enemy try but I'm still in control. Got your boy sitting in Bamako prison. Hoping they wish we sending them home. Enemy know that we good under pressure. Been through the thunderous turbulent storm. Shorty a diamond, I told her she precious. Hop in a whip and I'm taking her home. Hop in a whip and I'm swerving, I'm smashed. Killing my enemies, one of my passion. Rocking this gold like we in bikini. Feel like the captain, I'm clutching a heater. Yeah, gotta stay focused so when it's in shots I gotta react. Cause I'm a target, I'm under attack. Grabbing a weapon, I tell her get back. Mission exposed, secrets unfold. Enemy try but I'm still in control. Got your boy sitting in Bamako prison. Hoping they wish we sending them home. Enemy know that we good under pressure. Been through the thunderous turbulent storm. Shorty a diamond, I told her she precious. Hop in a whip and I'm taking her home. Hop in a whip and I'm swerving, I'm smashed. Killing